Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is Fox Up RPG. Jeez, already messed up. So today I'm joined by Matthew Tapp, the creator of Barrows and Borderlands. Yeah, I have all the books here as well separately, so I can go. Da-da-da-da-da. There's 4 booklets. It's awesome. You also get dice with the box set, and you get a couple character sheets, which is pretty cool. So, how are you doing, Matt? Matt, what
I'm
do I call
doing
Matt or
good.
Matthew? What do you
Either
prefer?
one's good. Either
Okay,
one's
cool.
good. Just don't call me late for dinner. Um, there you go. There's your dad joke for the channel. But
Oh no. Oh
no, I'm
no.
doing good. Doing good. Glad to be here too. Had quite a full day messing with our electricity and leaks in the roof and fun stuff, but got it
Lovely.
all fixed. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a fun time.
oh yeah, oh
At
yeah. We
least
had
it's
a
not the middle of
torrential storm
winter.
yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Honestly, I wish it was winter already because we're going through like 100-degree weather with like
Mm,
85% humidity every day.
mm.
So it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm here, obviously in my kitchen, and I am sweating like crazy. It's it's 2 in the morning here. It's boiling. So that kind of gives you an idea of things.
Hey, y'all using Celsius, right? So it's like 37 every day here.
Yeah. See, it's different though. It's very different. I don't know if you've seen the memes of like the people going around. Oh, like they've like people from Asian countries to go over like into Europe, into UK or Ireland or France, and they're like, "I'm used to this kind of heat, but it's completely different."
No,
But
I can understand that, but
mm, but yeah, so basically, this has become one of my favorite games.
really,
Yeah, absolutely, it's bloody brilliantly made. And for anyone who doesn't know, uh, Matthew is just you're 24, 25 years old.
20. I just turned 26. My birthday
Oh,
was
I
like
see. He's a cheater.
a week or
He
two
just
ago.
turned
Yeah.
26-year-old. He created his own RPG system. It's kind of it's the bones of OD&D with a hell of a lot more thrown in to create this. It's described in the box set as a weird science fantasy old school style role playing game set in a dark radioactive wasteland, magic, black powder, and dragons. I think that describes it very well.
A
I've described
mouthful
that.
too.
Yeah, I know you describe it with like Solomon Kane UFOs as well. I think
Yes.
you could probably spend a good 5 minutes saying all the things which describe the game very well. It's very
Yeah.
unique.
There's a
It's
lot of
very
things
unique.
going on with
Yeah.
it.
So actually, how actually before I say anything else, I just want to do 2 quick shout outs because we have someone we don't know, the Ultra American RPG here. He is doing some solo stuff on his YouTube channel and Rumble. And another guy I know called Dungeon Slime, he just started uploading Barrows and Borderlands stuff as well the last 2 days. So I just want to give them a little shout out as well. So if you want more information or see some gameplay stuff, check those guys out. They're great guys. So yeah. So
That's always good.
where did all this come from?
Yeah. So it started from our over a decade long group slowly moving back in time with our Dungeons and Dragons editions. And we play a lot of different games. I like to describe our play style as a game of games. So our campaign's been going for quite a while, and we just really like playing different things. I just uploaded a video earlier today, begrudgingly uploaded a recording of one of our plays where we were doing some Alex T, Karen Athalis, and it was all
Yeah.
like spin-off campaign stuff. And but like when we started in high school, we started with 5th edition. It had just come out. I was in I think I was a freshman or a sophomore. And my buddy got a box set. And so we were like, okay, well, let's try this thing out. We didn't read the rules for like 3 years. We read just enough to make a character. And we're like, that's all we need. I'll look at the monster stats if we need them. But our group, we started with that. Then we branched out to like Pathfinder because D&D just wasn't working. And then that wasn't working either. It was too cumbersome. And then we went and tried out like first edition style play and the old school essentials. And eventually we just, we kept wanting to change everything we were playing because it just didn't match the game we wanted to play. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and make my own. Original D&D is like the perfect skeleton of a game. And and that's kind of what I think it was meant for. You take it as a skeleton and build on it, like with Empire of the Petal Throne doing the same thing. That's probably the earliest example I can think of, or Arduin as well. And then here we are.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I know a lot of people when they start 5e, that's their first experience. There's like they either like it and they're like, I'm just gonna play this and not look at anything ever again, or I hate it all. I never want to look at anything. I never want to play anything ever again. So yeah,
it's
for myself. No, go on.
I was just gonna say, 5e, I think it was targeted towards the growing sort of Marvel era of kids with Marvel movies and stuff like that.
Superhero.
They're like, here, you could be exactly. You can be a superhero. Yeah. But that's not what we were really wanting to play. I grew up watching like Conan the Barbarian with my dad and stuff like that. So that's what we really wanted to play.
Would it be a bunch of savages plundering and killing things?
Exactly.
And there's a big ass dragon. You're like level 2. Oh no, we're dead.
Yep. Dying
you
every
might be able
session.
To negotiate. Yeah, you might be able to negotiate. If you can convince the dragon that you might be useful to it, you might live.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or you'll just get in Barrows Borderlands, you'll get mutated by radioactive dragon beams.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That happened last session.
Oh no. Like the more I look at, the more I play and look into this, there's so much, there's lots of little things hidden in here. And again, the radiation stuff is amazing. I think it's great. It adds a new basically an environmental hazard that's and they can cause your characters damage. And the really cool thing about it is you have your radiation level as you go into certain levels. If you have 11 points in your radiation resistance and you go into a level 2 area of radiation, you're going to lose 2 points each round essentially. But you will get to the point where you will die, but you don't necessarily die straight away. It's a 20% chance you get a mutation, and these mutations are pretty cool, and they're not all negative either. Some of them are like really just fun. Like you might gain extra limbs, or you might gain like a psychic eye or something like that. You have like a D100 list. Yeah, I think you have like a D100 list. I think it is. I think it's like 50 or 60 different things you could roll.
And that was being, like one of the things I really wanted was the radiation to matter in the game. And, for that, I looked to stuff like Metamorphosis Alpha and Gamma World. And, they have these insanely long multi-page mutation tables and such. And then, but I had somebody ask me why have radiation resistance as its own stat instead of just doing like a saving throw based on constitution or something like that. And I was like, well, I want when somebody makes their character, I want when they roll that stat, they know how important it's about to be and how much is going to actually come up. So
affect the game. Yeah,
exactly. So we actually have added, like with, I'm sure we'll get to radioactive boogaloo later, but
yeah, that's another thing I want to say. Like Matt has created a supplement called Radioactive Boogaloo, and it's completely free. You can get it on DriveThru or on his own website. And if you do want to get this, try and get it on his website, even if it's for the PDFs. That's the one thing I always say to people is support the creator if they have their own page, so they get more cut of everything, which is important. And you also have a print and demand copy of the game called the Daiko edition, I think it's called.
The Dinoco edition.
Daikono. Yeah, Daikono. There we go. Mine is on the way. I have mine ordered. It should be here, I think it maybe next week.
So that's awesome.
When that comes out, I'm going to do a review. So I want to show off the box set and the actual print on demand so people get an idea. And the print on demand copy has the 4 volumes together. It's going to have the character creation for. Let me grab everything. You have the character creation book. You will then have the magic and sorcery, or the psionics and sorcery. You have your treasure and horrors, which is your monster book and treasure book, and you're going to have your underworld and basically your world book, more aimed towards your referee or judge or DM or GM or one of the many thousand words people use.
Yes, I like referee.
yeah,
Referee works well.
Yeah, I like
'cause
referee. I like judge.
It helps the player know that, like, no, I'm not here to tell a story. I'm, I'm here to adjudicate
Dictate
things
rules.
when need be. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like the Underworld and Borderlands adventures, that goes into like dungeon crawling and wilderness exploration, which is a big part of the fun of our game. We actually started this campaign on an outdoor survival board.
The classic.
And then oh yeah. And then I went through and made a new one by hand. And right now it's actually being colored by my sister to make look all cool for possible print. But
oh, nice. That's cool. So you're just always doing something. It's absolutely crazy, Like I've said to a few people, like on the Discord channel and on X, like, when does he sleep? Like, I do night work. I'm in Ireland, so I'm 5 hours ahead of you. Excuse me. And you're always awake when I'm awake. And then I look on X or somewhere else, and then when I'm asleep, you're still awake. I'm like, what the hell? This guy's a vampire. There's a little bit of a joke in the Discord with a few people, like, you are a vampire.
Yes. Sleep is my kryptonite. So I get maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and so it's not great. I should be getting more, but I can't turn it off. And like, we'll sit in the Discord and just make stuff until 5 a.m, and then crash, and then I got to wake up in the morning because I have stuff to do. But
yeah, like I wake up at 9 o'clock. I get like 6 hours sleep. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty. Yeah, I go to bed around 5, and then we got to wake up at like 10, or else I feel lazy. So we've got so much work to do, and there's always stuff breaking. I was just mentioning earlier about like the leaks in the roof and stuff like that. And I also work doing videography and like 3D modeling and stuff like that. So there's always something to do.
He has 7 jobs. And it's all for himself. That most of it is like personal projects.
Most of my other work is a lot of like gig work with the videography stuff, and then I do like rigging and stuff for film sets, and then come back home and write stuff. But
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
New things that a lot of people won't get to see. So, but excuse me, I'm very thirsty.
Unless it's in the heat, in which case it's not as fun. But
next one's gonna be in Alaska.
Sign me up.
Play with the heat there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, like when you guys talk about and play Barrows and Borderlands, it's not just like a group of 5 people; it's dozens of people, and everyone has a chance to influence the game world, which I think is cool. So you have like your in-person group, which I think you said there's like 8 to 15 people that show up to that regularly.
Yeah, it's starting to look a bit more like 15 to 20, but
oh my god,
we had some people from a few towns over that picked up the game, and they're like, "Oh, I want to come too," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, you're an hour away, go ahead." So
that's cool. Because I remember when we were I saw your this on X, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I mean, we started talking, and like, yeah, anyone who doesn't know, he sent me. I paid for the physical of this, and he paid for the shipping for me, which is insane. And it's just thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, and like ever since then, it seems like I just caught you, and then everyone else started catching you. Because like my feed is like tons of Barrows and Borderlands stuff, more and more popping up, and they're coming up on bigger and bigger accounts as well, which I think is great, obviously.
I had a surreal moment where I was like looking through, I think
yeah.
it was probably the Bandits Keep Discord or whatever. I'm like, just saw two people just talking about the game without me there, and I was like, this is
That's
weird,
awesome.
but okay.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's definitely surreal because when we had decided that I needed to like codify the rules and put them down. Originally, we actually had I'll grab a copy of it, but we had it was just like a quick start guide to play the game
Okay.
when we had new people join. And it's got some of the same stuff that wound up in the actual book. But I just threw this together for the group, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna sell it or do anything with it. It's just because I need to show new players how to play. We were getting big tables, and we were already up to like 30 players if you count online as well. And then they were like, you've got to publish this thing. And I'm like, that's a lot of work, but okay. So they convinced me, and it was always like, oh, well, I might as well do it because at the very end, we're still playing this game. So even if nobody winds up buying it, but ordering like the first printing, I made all the boxes by hand with cardboard, cutting it up and wrapping it. And then I was making too many of them. I was like, in my head when I decided to sell it, I was like, okay, we're gonna have like 20 for the local game store. And then I got like 40 orders, and then more orders and more. I was like, oh, okay. And so I had to no longer. It's been fun. I mean, I eventually got these wonderful boxes, already made for me, which was the biggest key. But even then, when I had to go in and buy that bulk order, I was like, man, I'm about to. This is like lighting it on fire in the yard, but seems to be going well.
If it doesn't work out, it's like fuck.
Yeah.
Or if it does work out, it's like fuck.
Exactly.
In a good way.
I had told my fiance
tonight, no matter what.
Exactly. I told my fiance, I was like, can I drain the savings account? And she's like, I don't know. You really think it's gonna work? And I had to tell her, I was like, I don't know, but it'd be fun. So but it seems to be on track. I mean, and people are talking about it. Like I said, it's surreal, but I think wanted to play a game
because I saw the other day the Blackmore X account as well started talking about it, which was really cool.
Yeah, Griff was actually one of the earliest folks that shared the game. I had actually bothered him online because I was trying to do research on Strategos Inn, and he was like, well, Mr. Wesley is going to be selling copies up at the convention. I was like, okay. And then I said, also, do you want a copy of this game? Like at the time it was just PDF, and I was like, I just wanted to share it with you. Thanks for a good movie. And I guess he loved it and started sharing it, which was also surreal because I'm like, I just got done watching your movie. But he's a really cool guy. He supports a lot of indie creators and stuff, and his the books from the Fellowship of the Thing are great too, like the Blackmore Foundation book and stuff like that. Good if you want to know more about early D&D history.
That's cool.
But
just like we kind of got off track, and it's my fault actually. We talked about the group play, and then I opened my big ass mouth and talked about this, and then we went off in a different direction. So I'm very excited. So this is the thing. What everyone I talk to or I interview with is people I really like what they do and their stuff, and I think it's just so cool that you want to talk to my dumbass. So so I get excited every single time. I was like this when I was talking to Alex T. I was like, as well, which I know you like as well.
Oh, I love Alex T's work. He's got some really great games. I mean, Alex T's games were the ones that got me into solo play rules and stuff like that.
Same.
And I just didn't understand it before I picked up. Where is it at here? Yeah. The Disciple of Bone and Shadow. And that was the first solo play rules I picked up. But I think you can't get that printing anymore, but I asked him about it, and he said that Cair Nathalis is like the spiritual successor of the game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so his games are great. And, you know, like you've probably seen in our group since you've been on the Discord with us, we play a lot of different games. So we'll do random like chainmail games and war games. We use the dungeon board game, a few other board games to just sort of simulate stuff. Like soon we're going to have, can't remember the name of it, but it's an arena board game, an old one. And we're going to use that for some of the Arena of Zor adventures in the Borderlands.
Nice. So
that's why it's a game of games.
Which is really cool is like you have your own game, but then you're adding stuff in to keep things maybe a little fresh for yourselves. Because if you're playing the same, even if you're playing the same game that you love for like 10 years or however long, it doesn't matter. You might want to have something a little different every now and then. And I think everyone does that. And you add something in, you're like, oh, we can implement this every now and then and do this, which I think is really cool. You know, and then
that's where the fun is for our group, because yes, we use Barrows and Borderlands as the core of our gaming because that's the world we're playing in. But you know, if somebody shows up with a cool new game system we want to try out, I mean, I also love like Hyperborea is one of my favorite games. And we just like to find some way to piece it in, because that's what we are. We're gamers, and then on top of that, we've all been building on this world for a decade. So
yeah, that's I still can go. That's crazy, especially since you're basically doing this since you're teenagers as well. I know you're like young men and women and all that. So
I've actually got my. I keep reaching off screen over here, but I've got like our first campaign map and everything from high school, and then
memory corner.
Exactly. I've kept everything, and we've just been building on ideas. The world has changed so much. It's not even the same continents or anything anymore, as it's just evolved over the years. But we still have like Mobius the Mad God has been in there since the beginning. He was actually pretty much the first piece of the world that we came up with, and then he's still in there today. But
it's like, I shall survive.
Exactly. Can't kill the Mad God. Yeah. So
I'm going to circle back to the group play and the amount of players you have. That was a very smooth transition.
There you go.
Not at all, but yeah, like you have like large groups of people, like you're saying, and now you're having like 15 to 20 players in person, and you have games on the Discord group that people want to join. Even if they're brand new players, they're able to come in. You'll allow them come in to say create a new character. They have to be this level for this place or this area, and you incorporate it in, which is great. And like you said, you have other games going on, like discussions, and everyone's super helpful. There's no one's being an asshole, is what I'm saying. Everyone's very nice.
Except for John. No, I'm just kidding. You'll see that later. Be like, no, but like, it helps out. We have more referees too, because they're able to pick up the slack that I can't, because there are only so many people you can have at a single table, and then I've told John before that if we get more than 20 people in the shop, and I can't put more tables together, we may split off, and he'll run a game on the other side, and I'll run one over here. And you know, we get new referees occasionally. It's funny because most people just want to play, but Ultra American TTRPGer that's also in the Discord, he's about to run a session for us in a couple weeks, which I'm excited for. But
yeah, I think I might be able to make that one. I have it selected on the Discord group. I'm interested, so I'm going to try and get to that. But you know, time zones and stuff, so we'll see how it happens.
It's almost like you're on the other side of the world, you know, across the big pond.
Almost. It's a weird thing.
We do have a guy. Yeah. We have a guy in Australia that joins the games, but it's like 7 o'clock in the morning when we're playing late at night, so it's weird timing.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot of fun. That's the only negative thing I find about gaming, is partially because my own personal life is I do night work, but the problem is I do night work towards the weekends. So I'm
Right.
available. I would be available for that time, like in the US, where, let's be honest, a lot of the gaming stuff is on US time. It's just a bigger market for gamers and stuff like that. And mainly because, like in Europe, you're like, oh, there's a French group, there's a like a German group, there's a British group, so it's the language and stuff like that. But so it's like, oh, there's a game on this time of this day. I was like, okay, yeah, but I'm working.
Oh yeah.
That's my own personal thing. That's just me sulking and crying, like I wish I could be there.
Well, one of our players, Mugen, he also does night work and stuff. So he's a security guard,
Yeah.
and he'll call into the games occasionally. But we've had a whole thing set up just for his character because he never has time to actually sit down and make more. So what he has is he has copies of the same character for every class, so he could just come in as that guy. It's like some clone of him from a different time or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a good sport about it.
Different mood phases. He like comes in as a different like persona or character class.
We call him the Knight Locked Out of Time, because he's Stagar the Putrid Apostle, and we actually put his armor in the game and allows you to summon just like a 5th level fighter to fight by your side, and
that's cool.
So that way he is just showing up randomly to everybody's game. So
that's awesome. He's like he forever a part of Barrows and Borderlands.
Exactly.
That's cool. Yeah, but how many referees do you have now, do you think, between the in person and the Discord?
I have 4, not including myself. So 2 of them, they don't run as many games, but they're there kind of for backup if we need them, and they also know enough about the rules to help folks out. But then John has been running an increasing number of games, and Anthony, one of the guys in there, he's got a whole mega dungeon that he's been writing forever that he's soon to be running. He's been writing parts of this dungeon for about as long as I've known him, so it'll be fun to see how that comes out.
Yeah, I'm a lover of mega dungeons. I love them.
Oh, me
I think
too.
they're amazing. I just love like the whole concepts of dungeons and like the underworld and what it could be, because everyone sort of, when it comes to like the underworld, which I do throw dungeons in that, is that some people are like, oh, it's just a place where you go. I'm like, no, I think it's more magical in a way. There's something else. It's not just like where did it come from? Like, you can't just say, oh, there's a dungeon here and everything's crafted perfectly. It's like, no, it has to be something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's Griff Morgan described it pretty cool, and I think he was talking about it like how the original guys were thinking of it is it is sort of the Greek underworld. So there's so many things that could be sleeping in there, so many different monsters that could be coming out. And then I know that like dungeon ecology didn't start coming out until a little bit later. I think the first talk of it was in Dragon Magazine when they were like, oh, maybe these need to make sense. But I like both ways. Sometimes we like the monster hotel. Other times we'll have a themed dungeon. But
yeah, it's like, why aren't these orcs and these zombies fighting? They're just across the hallway. Because
you look at like Caves of Chaos with the Keep on the Borderlands adventure. It is just Monster Hotel. But I've been slowly falling in love with David Hargrave's dungeons. From he made Arduin, and I think it's Emperor's Choice. Right now, they have all of his original dungeon adventures in the Vaults of the Weaver, and those things are awesome. Talk about like one of the dungeon rooms, the players are just walking through, and it's like wall-to-wall bronze with like corroded bones and like acid spitting snakes coming out of the ceiling, and this dude was writing this stuff back in the 70s. It was awesome. But definitely worth checking out.
In like my own sort of like shadowdark stuff, I have my own little world and stuff like that, and I love having bronze statues and bronze engravings and things, or like motifs. I don't know, I think I love, like, we have a bronze statue in the house. When I say statue, it's like, I don't know, maybe 2 feet tall, and it's like wide. It's like of a hunt. as well. So
Oh
it's
yeah, that's cool.
it's from a Scottish creator, but found it in an antique shop when I was a kid. It's really cool, and ever since then I've just loved bronze statues and figures. And then I end up learning more about like ancient Rome and the Greeks, and then their sculptures from like marble and stone and all that. So I was like, oh, imagine that as bronze. But yeah,
No, I love them
damn
too.
cool. Yeah,
We
yeah.
Or go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No, we have a few, like the property out here is all like mainly little like bird nests and little stone statuettes everywhere and stuff like that, bird baths and whatnot. So my fiance loves that stuff.
It's like, I'm gonna go look at I was gonna say the flowers. Look at the birdies and the butterflies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where I live, it's like a normal like residential area, like a cul-de-sac. But I can see the mountains from my house. And if you drive 20 minutes away, you're going to be basically in the mountains with very few houses around. There's going to be farmland, and then you're like, oh, hear that? That's a gunshot.
Yep.
You know, shooting the deer and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah. Out here we're in like the middle of a swamp, so everything is like, especially this time of year, you walk outside at the wrong time and you just get swarmed by mosquitoes. So good old Charleston weather.
That was some crazy timing there. You said swarmed by mosquitoes, and there's a fly in the kitchen that just flew by my ear.
There you go.
Yeah, but when when you're talking about creating the books and stuff like that, you're making these by hand for the box sets.
Yes. Yeah. So I make them all in here. Actually, I print them out right here and then staple them and get them to come out nice enough. But until then, I got these are stacks of books right here that I'm working through, and then I've got the whole shed taken up by so many boxes.
Yeah,
but it's looking like I'm about
quality is great.
The paper, that was an interesting one. It took a while to settle on that paper. So what I wanted it to feel like when you got the original D&D box and brought it home, and it felt like that in your hand. So I tried to mimic that feeling with the outside cover, but then with the inside paper, it's the same paperweight as the original, but I didn't want it to fall apart as easily. So I did upgrade a little bit. And the better staples and everything, so that hopefully it won't degrade as much over time. And with the box sets too, the front box on the original D&D box, they just had a piece of plain paper glued to it, and you'll see everybody's they've all like turned yellow over time and stuff. So I went with like a clean label, so hopefully it'll stay this color for a few years.
That's awesome. But yeah, like, again, the quality and everything here is amazing. And when you go on your website, it is not expensive at all. It's like what like $50? Is it
$59? It's $60. I mean, $60. So I have it on there for $59.99.
Yeah, that works out to be like €50. That's why
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, no, I didn't want it to be. I had a hard time accepting that the game could. I didn't want to sell anything for more than $60, because whenever I buy a game, that's not necessarily my price limit, but I wanted people to actually be able to get their hands on it and get something good for what they were getting. So because that's really what was interesting me, was hopefully people would want to play it, and if I made it too expensive, nobody would be able to play it. So
it's be like start taking a risk as well. They don't know anything about it, but like you have it's works out to be, I think it's 210, 215 pages altogether, which is that's
211.
Not small. 211. There you go. That's not small by any means at all, and it's full of content. It's very well written. It all makes sense. It's in simple, plain English, and then you have like little bits of lore and information about the world as well, which is really cool. You have a bunch of classes. and races. And when you talk about the Electric Boogaloo as well, which I absolutely love the name of. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, like the first Radioactive Boogaloo adds 76 pages of content to the game.
Yeah.
And then we have Radioactive Boogaloo 2. Yes, it is completely free. I do plan on making them print on demand, which I obviously can't do that one free because I at least have to pay off the paper. But the PDF will always be free, and you can print it at home. Just booklet format in Adobe Acrobat. We've already got the cover picked out for it. So that'll be fun.
You have your rocket, a skeleton guy on a skeleton raptor or some sort of dinosaur with like mountains or swamps in the background. It looks awesome. And the first one, I love the first one. It just grabs you. And I will be the second that comes available on for print. I'll be getting that straight away.
It's gonna be a good one. I mean, like I said, it's a thick book. It's about the same as the monster book for
76 pages or something like that.
If I put another piece of paper in there, it wouldn't print correctly. So
yeah. That's the thing about odd pages.
Yes, but the first one adds see, I can't actually remember 1 2 3 4 5 6 new classes. Yeah, a bunch of new races. We have the Radioactive Boogaloo 2. It's going to start off with 4 new classes, and then I've got more in the works, but I didn't want to overload the first. So I've already got like 30 pages written for Radioactive Boogaloo 2, and the idea was that maybe by the end of the week or next week we would go ahead and put it up. And with the first one, I updated it. I say I update it every week, but it was kind of like every other day. It wound up getting updated.
Every day. Every freaking day. I would download it. I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up, update. I'm like, you little shit.
It was constant. I did have one guy that was like, can you slow down with the updates? Because I'm printing these out. And I'm like, okay. I'll hold off a little bit, make it a week.
Yeah.
But I'd get home and then I would just like, I'd have to put something in. And I'm usually working on like, exactly. And some of these ideas we've had in the game, but some of them are, it wasn't necessary for the core game. So I have them in there as alternative rules. And then like the item identification, because you'll notice that I don't have an identify spell in the base game, because I hated the idea of just hand waving, figuring out what an item is. But and then like Radioactive Boogaloo 2, we've got alternative grappling. We've got new critical hit tables for the new demon blooded race, some new monsters, some new spells and stuff like that. But it's been a lot of fun.
You also have the solo wilderness stuff that just gives you a very simple basic understanding of how to solo play, which is great because any game can be solo played relatively easily. You just need to learn the process of how to do certain things, and this helps great. And the great thing about this as well, you have solo dungeon generation, which so many games, it's just dungeon generation tools regardless, and so many games do not have any reference to any generation tools at all, which is actually my main complaint about most games. Especially fantasy games. You're like, oh, it tells you go off in the dungeon and do all this stuff, but I'm like, okay, but what if I'm a brand new player who's never played before? What am I supposed to do? They don't tell you, like, get out this piece of paper, draw this out, maybe idea for tools or maybe a website. Nothing. That's my biggest complaint. But you have a free supplement which adds all that in, plus a ton of new stuff, races, classes, gear and equipment, magical stuff, locations as well. It's idea factory man over here. That's if you were a superhero, you'd be the vampiric idea man.
Well, with like the hex locations, whenever I was doing the original game, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to put all the locations from my world in here because they're going to wind up going and making their own version of the Borderlands. And then the first thing I got from people was, I need to know more about this world specifically so I can play. And I go, okay, I'll put my hex locations in, and I put like our favorite locations in Radioactive Boogaloo 1, and then we've got even more planned for Radioactive Boogaloo 2, because after years of playing the game, you wind up with some really cool places. And most of the places in there are ones that the players have visited, or they exist because of the players. Like Xerxes' House of Hope that's in there. That's a player-built location. And then we've got like the Castle Dread is also a player location, and the player who made Castle Dread is currently working on the full dungeon for it too. So that's gonna be his release. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you work on something for a while, the world gets kind of set in stone.
Yeah.
But stuff changed all the time. I think you just found like a pyramid up towards the north of the map. That hex was completely undiscovered, so that's gonna get added in.
It was just outside the forest area, and in my game that I was playing as solo, because I'm a solo guy. Because actually, there's one thing about solo stuff. You have it on your Discord. People can add their own solo logs. So potentially some of the stuff that people might put up in there might have some sort of reference at some stage. Or it might be even in your own games, it might be, you go over here and there's the blah, blah, blah. Which is pretty cool.
I probably won't add your location if somehow you generate My Little Pony campsite. I'll probably be like, okay, no, that's not going in. But, a lot of it does make it into, especially like the Radioactive Boogaloo, because free document and stuff. And if you don't want something in, obviously I'm not going to put something you don't want in. But the log on there, it updates so that other players that are playing and they go to the same hex as you, that'll be there. And
that's cool.
And we'll have notes on it. So
and
a lot of the economy in the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's cool. No, that's cool. There's a very slight delay that happens. Don't worry about it. It's my fault.
It's almost like we're far away.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my solo game I played, I got to one of the castles that was there. They basically took my guys in. I used the augury table, which is the oracle table, and I was like, "Will these guys help us?" Or no, it says, "Will these be aggressive towards us?" I rolled no. I was like, "Just no." I was like, "Thank God." And then I was like, I just rolled a few more times to see if they'll let us come to their castle and rest for a bit. And then they were like, "Oh, there's a rumor about some strange ongoings in the nearby forest. We don't have enough men to go out there." Which the characters are like, "Well, that's a lie." It's like obviously some sort of right, because we told them what happened to us. We were enslaved and we escaped, but we went down that way. We were escorted by two of their guys, obviously to make sure we didn't run off or anything like that, spying us. And we got there, but just before we got there, we came across a newly unearthed something like broke out or erupted from the ground, the hills, and it was an entranceway. And it ended up being an encounter. And the encounters are not just monsters or creatures; they can be places and things, which is really cool. Then it was basically an underground pyramid. So we asked, we should go in this? And they were like, "No, we have to go to this location." And then we go to the forest, and we hear screams of like some sort of monster, and it's I think it was 3 wyverns. And I was like, "Well, we're dead." And I was like, they just happen to be eating. I was all, are they eating or resting or whatever? It's like, yes, okay. And all that stuff. And then we ended up going back. We told them about the eruption or the breakout of the underground entrance. We talked about the wyverns. And I kind of put together that maybe the wyvern had escaped from the underground. So maybe there's something interesting in the bottoms, the depths of this underground pyramid. So
I'm excited to hear about that. Did your character get a chance to meet Klaus Black, the ruler of Castellet Black?
No, we're just dealing with like the captain. So I came up with a random captain. So it's like he's not gonna worry himself with 3 random people.
That makes
the
sense.
head guy. Yeah.
It's funny because Klaus Black that runs it, he was my solo play character from a long time ago, and he built his castle up and everything, and now he's just like
Nice.
a dude that the players run across every once in a while.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, he has been a blessing and a curse to different parties depending on who shows up. So
That's cool. I feel blessed now. Because in the next follow up, it's going to be going to. But we actually already went there, and we camp outside. And the whole idea was that it's going to be like a rite of passage for their protection.
Oh, that's
since
cool.
we're basically being hunted because we escaped from a bunch of slavers somewhere in the world. We're in a brand new land. So for all we know, these guys might be bad guys. We don't know. So
who knows?
we're going to try and map out this dungeon, and if they live, and if they don't,
oh well. Now you can play as the mercenaries that survived.
yeah. But yeah, it's really cool because again, it relies on this emergent gameplay, which is what I love. Like sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of railroady stuff in a place, because if you're doing a bigger sort of mission or quest thing that's going on, you're gonna need a little bit of not role play, obviously role play, but I mean railroading in some small parts now and then, assuming the players want to keep on track. Especially if you don't do this within a certain amount of time, you're not necessarily going to say that to the players, but maybe the world ends.
Yeah, and the way I run the game, I mean, the way I run it, the world definitely can end. I actually have there's a few of those hex locations where if something is done wrong, the world can 100% end.
Oh wow,
that would be interesting to see what happens with that if it goes off in the Discord. But we've got so the way I run the game is I start off like I know the locations, I know who's there, I know who's where. And then otherwise we just go on from there. For all I know, you're gonna die, you're gonna live, who knows? You're gonna become evil mercenary bandits or whatever in my world, sure. But with 40 players, and this includes people show up in person and the ones that are online only. Each of them have 2 to 6, sometimes 8 characters, and they run the economy in the world. There are quests, there's certain hey, go get me this kind of things, or this evil wizard is burning villages over here. But all of that comes up because it has to in the game as it progresses. A lot of times you'll find out that the evil wizard burning villages is actually another player who's trying to get power for his tower.
Which is pretty cool because again, you're just dealing with so many people. It makes it easier to allow that stuff to naturally happen, because there is always going to be a certain amount of players who are like, I don't like you, and electrocute everyone, or to swing their axe. That's just bound to happen, because any game you've ever played, there's always at least one character or person who's like, okay, I'm done being a goodie.
Yep.
Or they're just role-playing into their alignment.
We use chainmail for our war system as well, and that happens quite a bit. As a player will go and build up an army. One of the villages that I couldn't put in the hex map, I was, it was a village in the world, but they blew it up, or they attacked it with an army of people and burned it to the ground. So I went, well, there's nothing there anymore for me to put in the hex map.
Just trampled.
Yeah, exactly. That they were an army of mole riders that decided to burn the village down. Pure chaos. Player ran, but now there's a rumor out in the world that this army that burned this village down is roaming. And
that sounds like
fun. We'll see what happens to them.
Okay.
But we've got I like to call it a living world, and I have no clue what's going to happen. Neither do the players. They're the ones that get to choose,
which is pretty cool. Because you have so many players, and everyone's very engaged from what I've seen, and everyone seems to care what's going on. Even if their characters die, they're not bummed out about it. It's like, oh well, that kind of sucks. Well, here's one of my 7 characters I've ready to go. You just once you understand what you get into, it's fine. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like with any game. The deadly games, you just once you understand what they are, you'll be fine.
We've definitely had some people that have been working on characters for a very long time, and then they die. You know,
that's a good punch, though.
Oh yeah, it's a gut punch. We had one guy; he'd been running the same character for like 9 months, and he's in Baba Yaga's hut. He steps on some spider eggs, some giant spider eggs or whatever. He's trying to like trample them, and everybody at the table like winces because they're like, "Oh, you don't know what happens when you step on spider eggs," and so they come out and they eat them. And he's like,
nice.
It's like a split second of like, "Oh, what's my final word?" You know, blah blah blah, and then he goes, "Okay, now I'm playing this guy." So,
yeah, I just had an image of the Mummy movie.
Yes,
sort of drains the guy's guy, becomes skeletized and barely any flesh left.
That was in my head while it was happening.
See, we're so well connected. See, we're as one.
There you go.
That wasn't creepy at all.
it's the hair.
Yeah, I'm a half ginge.
Half ginge.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I have brown hair, but I have no hair.
Well, they apparently I'm not ginger. It's written on my birth certificate as strawberry blonde. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not
when I was born, my hair was so blonde it was literally see-through. It was like,
oh wow, toe-headed.
Yeah. And then as I grew older, it became more and more brown. So it became like a light brown, a medium brown, and then a medium brown with light patches and everything. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's how my fiance's hair was.
Yeah, and then it just went, oh, bye-bye.
Well, it's a good look. It works, but
yeah, especially for a person with a massive head. Well, I have natural reinforcements in my own skull.
And hey, there you go. They did a study on beards, and that they're actually there for punch protection for men.
Yeah,
you're
grow
less
my chin beard down to here.
There you go.
What's going on? What? Yeah,
but no, I've been thoroughly enjoying the new people coming in and taking advantage of the solo play log, and you and Ultra American TTRPG have been doing it the most. My home players, they've gotten all interested in making sure that they have a referee. I think a couple of them are scared to do the solo play, but we'll see. We'll see if we can convince them.
So if any of you guys are listening, just try it. It's simple. Take your time. You don't have to worry about, oh, I have only like this amount of time to do it. No, it doesn't matter. You can come back tomorrow or the next day and continue exactly where you left off. Think of it as like a video game. You save point. You can save anywhere in the world, and then you're back.
And then get back to it later. And we do the campaign 1-to-1 time, and that's been interesting with it because we've got some characters that get time locked. They're stuck waiting to play again with those characters, but because they have so many, they can play as anything else in the meantime.
Which is it's actually pretty cool because then there actually ends up being more characters in the world influencing things differently, and it can be on the other side of the map as well. And your map is huge, by the way, so it's big.
Yeah, square mile wise, it's about the size of South Carolina. So it's every.
Pretty sure that's bigger than my country.
Yeah, I think so. So
I think it's a couple times bigger actually. So
hey,
there you go.
South Carolina is pretty big. I think it's actually a bit. If you put South Carolina width wise, it's about the same. Then you got to add some more height on either end.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's stuff happening all over the world. There are people that they're not even really playing characters necessarily anymore. They're basically sending me orders that like the Master of the Thieves Guild is player ran. The Pope of Malorez back home is player ran. Cool. I ran very little NPCs in the world because the NPCs are actually just PCs.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because you have so many players as well. They, like you said, some will be locked out and they influence the world. So
yeah, it's like why should I track what the Pope in Malorez wants when I can just say, do you want to be the Pope of Malorez and here's your goals and you figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And you know, the reason we do the 1-to-1 time is it makes the world feel living, one, but also it's so that we don't have one person like spam play the game. So you don't see anybody go from like levels 1 to 20 in 2 weeks. It's like, well, it takes longer than that.
Yeah.
And then like the training mechanic and all that add more time to it. You know, one of my buddies right now, he's working on a crafting system for the game, and it's real funny because one of the things came up about like making a magic ring that takes real life multiple years to make.
Oh wow!
so that by the time it's actually made, everybody's moved on or whatever. And he's like, I finally made the ring. But
like, imagine just being literally 2 years making it and your character dies.
Yeah,
you're like a week away from finishing it and it's dead.
Well, it's funny. We actually have a lot of characters that they're just in it for that side game. Like they will just be there for the side parts of it. So they're not even going into dungeons. They're paying other player characters to go into the dungeons for them so they can continue running their magic shop or something.
That's cool.
And you know,
they've grown beyond the need to dungeoneer. Go in, peasant. Here's some coins.
I am become magic. But and you know, it's the campaign world has sort of a small film of 1600s level technology where people are like using black powder weapons and such. But then since y'all are in this wild wasteland of the Borderlands, there are guys running around in armor or just barbarians with giant axes and stuff. And then the weird science stuff where I went down in a cave and found a UFO down here and a laser gun. Might as well take that. And maybe I only have
here's a robot.
But here's a robot. Yeah. Oh man, the robots are hard.
One of my characters, I have 3 characters in my solo game, and one of them is a robot, and I call him 4-iller. So kill him. 4-iller.
Well, you know, like the robots that you can find in the dungeon levels, you could either roll like a robot character, but the ones that's in the monster or then the horrors and treasure books, those are like 8-hit dice. They've got death rays and stuff like that.
It's like, no, I'm
ancient Dynaco technology.
Yeah, like this again. Your world is so unique. Again, like you said, it's like you have black powder. You have like medieval or late medieval sort of armor or Renaissance type period stuff. You have dragons. You have like goblins and all that stuff combined in with here's some radiation and aliens and other weird monsters and creatures, and it's like taking medieval story stuff, throwing in Fallout, and then throwing in some cowboys.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
it's so cool. It's so interesting and fun.
I've also realized, you know, since I made the game and I've been talking to a lot of folks. I was introduced, and I know some people are going to be like heresy, or blasphemy, but introduced to Arduin, which is that a series of adventures I was telling you about earlier is from the folks that own that right now, Emperor's Choice. But like a lot of that weird science feel it comes all the way back from the 70s. Like Hargrave was working on weird science fantasy, and Arduin, they've got all kinds of cool stuff. And then even Blackmore with Dave Arneson's, he's got weird science tech in his world. And you know, you look the old adventure City of the Gods is all science fantasy, Barrier Peak, that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff I love. Pulpy. Is like when pulpy, that's a good way of putting it. Clark Ashton Smith and Lovecraft and Fritz Leiber and stuff like that, which I give XP to the players in the Discord if they read those things.
Yeah, I saw that the other day and I was like, I don't have time.
Now you got to. Now you've got to.
Like, I don't have time, but then I'm wondering, how the hell do you have time to do anything else? I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, you know, just don't sleep and lots of caffeine. It'll get you there. But
see, I have a problem. Caffeine doesn't affect me.
Oh wow, I've got to drink quite a bit of it. recently I've been doing more to try and go to bed a little bit earlier. So I've gotten it down to like 3 a.m. past couple nights. And that's been my early
instead of
sleep
half
time.
4 or 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
you're being a very good boy.
Well, I mean, I can't turn it off when we're talking about stuff like this, or we'll get in there and the players. We do movie nights in the Discord too, and it's just like hanging out with the friends. That's really what it is. It's an excuse to get in there with our friends and play games, enjoy the media we want to watch. Listen to John pick on me about watching old movies, but
yeah, I've been watching a lot more old movies as like 70s, 80s. Yeah.
You just watched yeah, go ahead.
Last week I've watched Legend, Masters of the Universe, Cull. It was actually a week and a half. And what else? I've lost it. Something else. I can't remember. It was
excellent
a smaller
movies.
movie. Yeah.
I love Tim Curry as the demon in Legend.
Yeah, it's so good. And the way they filmed it made him look like he was 9 feet tall and 7 feet wide.
Oh yeah,
it's just so cool. Yeah,
that one and Kroll was like a big inspiration for Barrows and Borderlands because on its surface you're like, medieval knights, and then what they've got
laser guns,
ray guns, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, the magical weapons.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff, and the beauty of the stop motion, like the giant spider that was in the cave there.
Oh yeah.
I think that was Harryhausen who also did I don't know why it's escaped my brain right now. Jason and the Argonauts and stuff like that. The old stop motion.
The big giant statue that came alive.
Yep. And it was Ray Harryhausen. Actually, it was animated by a prodigy of his, Stephen Archer. So that's why it felt so familiar.
Nice.
And Harryhausen also did like the Golden Voyage of Sinbad and stuff like that, which are
that's your next,
that's your next movie watch. That right there, the Arabian Nights stuff and Sinbad, all of that was the inspiration for Khalida in the world.
Okay.
So, and we've got a lot of characters from there and stuff, but it's got some of my favorite like sorcery things going on, especially in the 7th Voyage of Sinbad.
Nice.
Very, very good.
So, you
have an endless list.
Yeah. And again, like, you're putting out so much content for people to play and use on top of your world, which is ever changing. And the people, again, the Discord group are very helpful. Everyone's always open for feedback or stuff with rules. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've been a great help.
Do you have anything in the works of the future besides the Boogaloo stuff?
Yes. So we've got currently we're in the middle of writing, in addition to the Boogaloo, we have Dark Star Violet, which is going to be a part of it is supplement for Barrows and Borderlands, and part of it is a spaceship skirmish game. My players have been inching closer and closer to finding their spaceship that they want so badly.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've got to have that ready for them to play. And it'll feel familiar to stuff like the naval combat from Chainmail, but then mixed with, I like to say, it feels like if you mixed the naval combat from Chainmail with something like the naval combat from Pirate Borg, but then on a 3-dimensional scale.
Yeah.
So I tried to keep it fairly light. If somebody wants hardcore spaceship rules, they can use something like Traveler. But I wanted something that felt a bit more like Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers spaceship combat,
which keeps in theme with the whole like science fantasy background to everything.
Yeah, like a big spaceship manned by a alien sorcerer from Mars.
an alien sorcerer, a barbarian on a spaceship, shooting blaster pistols using steel swords.
With Solomon Kane with a flintlock pistol on a velociraptor running through the halls. So I don't like. I see similarities to a few people have brought up like a wacky setting, but I don't see it too much as wacky. I see it more like kitchen sink kind of setting.
I don't think it's wacky at all. Everything just works well, and it doesn't feel gonzo.
Yeah,
at all. I don't know how you done it, but just everything constructed together, it just works and it makes sense. And it's not just like, oh, here's just an alien and a robot, and here's a guy in armor, and they're fighting, and somehow it doesn't come across as silly. It's just I don't know how you done it, but you done it. It works.
Well, when we make decisions of what need to be in the game and stuff like that, I always stop myself, and I'll make sure that I'll run it by the players and stuff, but I'll be like, is the world still taking itself seriously? Because we might have something that feels really crazy, like one of the new classes is a star barbarian, and it's like, okay, that's pretty wild stuff, and they can like breathe the air in space. That's sort of one of their whole things. But as long as the world takes itself seriously, so the people living there, to them, that's not crazy. To them, they're like, this is where we live. This is what's going on,
Yeah.
And, in addition, we've got we try to make things mesh well together. It all has a purpose. Like all the robots are from the previous age of the world, and everything has been written out for years and years and years. You brought up other things that are in the works right now. We've got, so that's probably the next release other than Radioactive Boogaloo 2. And then we've also got a horror supplement planned for October, which I'm excited about. I'm co-writing it with one of my players. And now, a lot of the content we put out there is free, especially with Radioactive Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the idea of selling something unless it stood on its own. So like, for example, with Dark Star Violet, yes, it has a lot of supplementary rules for the main game, but you could play the space skirmish game by itself if you wanted to, and it would just be spaceships fighting each other. Radioactive Boogaloo, that doesn't necessarily need the main game if you just wanted to like add it to your Old School Essentials rules or something like that. But I definitely feel a lot better about releasing like a paid supplement if it can stand on its own. And we've also got like the board being colorized by my sister right now. That's another release. And just had Castle Grief. I commissioned an artwork from him recently for another cover art of something else as well. Wait, I wanted there to be
he's always up to something, huh?
Always up to something. Got something up my sleeve. It's really cool art though. I'll definitely have to actually, I don't know if I have the ability to stream something on here, but I could show it because it's really cool. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, we're always trying to work on stuff.
Because I said this to you before, privately. I think it was an X or Discord. You should definitely charge for pretty much everything you're putting out, even Electric Boogaloo. Like, if I know I know you say the PDF will be free, but when you're doing the print on demand stuff, definitely be more than at cost print. Because you should be making money from the stuff you're doing. Because the amount of time and effort and the quality, it's not like there's stuff out there that people are putting out and they're charging a lot for, and it's trash. But the stuff that you're doing, it's all high quality. It looks great. And let me see. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the new Castle Grief art. His stuff's really cool too with Cal Aerith, and there might be something in the background that has to do with that.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Solomon Kane character with a mace and a laser pistol. That's cool.
Yeah, that image right there pretty much explains the game.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
but yeah, here I'll stop streaming there.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I definitely like, especially when we get to the print of Radioactive Boogaloo, you know, it'll be paid, you know, so that people, first of all, I can afford the printing process and stuff, and then the time and effort and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we use a lot of this stuff in our home game too. So it's, some of it's like, it's gonna get made regardless.
Yeah.
But of course, we're definitely going to be charging for like the Dark Star Violet supplement, because that's going to be a whole game almost in and of itself.
Yeah.
And with Radioactive Boogaloo, I like the feel of that kind of staying free as far as the PDF is concerned. But yeah, we're not afraid of money, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I'm not allergic to it.
Yeah, I've talked to a few creators, and that's one thing. Like, I think you're marketing yourself absolutely excellently, and you're seeing it more and more grow. More people are talking about it. They're showing it off. It seems like more and more people are buying it. Yeah. So once you're able to market yourself and you're getting other people talking about it, that's very important. But I know a lot of creators say, don't put out too much free stuff, because then people might appreciate it less, and they expect things.
Yeah.
But that's just me being me. But I the reason I'm saying it is because you're creating everything you put out is brilliant. It's high quality. There's lots of stuff out there that cost a good amount of money. That's absolute trash. This is anything but. Like, you know, it's definitely high quality.
I don't release anything that I don't use. I don't actually play with. So, and we've, I don't want to say the easy part, because it's been like 10 years of working on stuff, but a lot of this is like
10 years of suffering.
Well, the issue that I've got here is not having a lack of things to put in there. It's more of how much can I fit? Like with Radioactive Boogaloo 1, it's like, oh, I only have 76 pages to play with, because I wanted it to be in the cool booklet format. So, maybe eventually we'll have
need.
Exactly. Maybe one day I'll do a big omnibus of everything, but that would require me to be like, okay, that's it, put a bow on it, you know. So
I have a feeling that your vampiric creative nature will not like it to do so.
It'll make it very hard.
20 years later, you're like, Electric Boogaloo 45, it's on the way.
That would be funny. It would just turn into a Dragon magazine by that point.
Yeah.
It's just endless.
Hey, never say never.
And never say never. It's actually funny, because I think before we started recording, I mentioned that I already had the title picked out for my Radioactive Boogaloo 3, and it's just gonna be Radioactive Boogaloo 3, just when you thought I was out of ideas.
Yeah.
Just play on it. Number 4, Revenge of the Boogaloo, all that stuff.
Boogaloo Strikes Back.
Boogaloo Strikes Back.
Yeah, we need pop culture references for
it never
fantasy
ends.
And science fantasy stuff could be thrown in there very easily.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Creators should be charging for their stuff, and it's not like Radioactive Boogaloo is not going to make me any money, because once it's physical, there's that. But you know, and then like the drive-through stuff where we've got the hardbacks, that also makes it a little bit easier for folks that don't want to, or like, because drive-through makes it pretty easy if you're ordering from further away, I think. So
especially like for myself, I know on your website you have a couple countries where you're able to deliver the box sets to, which is great. But then a lot of places it won't be able to. So having something like drive-through, it's going to make it a lot easier for a lot of people. And it's a little work. It's a bit of work on your end, but once it's up, it's there.
Yeah. The hardest part was really waiting for the proofs to come in, because they always take so long to show. And then you get it, and you're like, well, I just waited 4 weeks for the proof, and you open it up, and it's like the page is crooked, or you forgot to put something in there.
Did you order one copy?
I have a few. I ordered one, and then I waited to see how it looked before, because then I had to go and update it before I could order the next one. But now that it's up, I just ordered a bunch for myself and
Yeah,
just to have.
because
But
what I was gonna say is I've talked to a few creators and they do a lot of drive-through stuff, and they're saying if they order 2 or more copies, it comes way quicker.
really,
So obviously, obviously it's going to cost a bit more on your end, but it comes a lot
yeah,
quicker and things can get adjusted quicker. Now that's what Dave told me. It could be
I'll
also
keep that in
location
mind.
based. So because
Yeah,
again, like in the US, there's a bunch of printers where in different regions, and that seems to be
yeah.
where it goes. So you never know. Just to
Our,
let you know, just in case.
ours isn't too bad. I think we're only a couple states over, maybe one state over from the nearest printer for drive-through.
Right.
But and we're gonna have some alternate art covers too for the hardbacks. Don't worry if you already got one. If you already got one, the alternate art covers are you get a coupon for them if you do want the different arts and stuff like that.
You see what I mean? He's just like here's some
Well,
more cool stuff. Here's a discounted
mean,
version of something.
I think about it like if I was sitting there and I just
Yeah.
bought the game and then the dude just released like a really cool art version of it, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? I just got this one." So I didn't
I
want
know what
that
you
to
mean.
happen to people. Um,
I'm just praising your generosity.
no, it's it's easy when you look at it from somebody who also I buy a lot of stuff out there and I know what I like that other creators do. Castle Grief, he makes the Cal Aerith series is awesome if you do like solo play, but all of his stuff is also high quality.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen that around a couple times. I actually was gonna back it on Kickstarter because then he had 2 or 3 Kickstarters, I think, and I was on holiday one of the times and I just missed it. And I didn't get a notification from one of the other times. I don't know why, because things just don't happen sometimes.
Yep.
It's like on YouTube. Sometimes you don't get video alerts. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell? And I click reminder on top of already subscribed and want all notifications, and I'm still not getting it.
It happens often.
Yeah.
But his stuff's really good and his soundtrack's really good. I actually play some of the music that he has up there for it's official Cal Aerith music, but we'll play it sometimes in the Borderlands. And then
That's cool.
Like the Arduin guys with Emperor's Choice, all their stuff's good. They've even got like metal miniatures and stuff that they hand make on their site, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need the lot, and they're not expensive either. It's just because the guys put in the time and effort to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think like metal skeletons are on there for like $5 a pop, which is about what I pay when I go to the game store and get plastic miniatures.
Yeah.
So Northwind's Adventures with the Hyperborea. I mean, talk about quality, those books. So that's what I'm trying to make sure that if I do put something out there, not only is it, check the smell test almost where, okay, this is good, that it feels good in my hand, the pages aren't crooked or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But also that I'm not just giving crap to people. Like that was the only complaint I got from the older guys is I crammed almost too much stuff on the pages because I had to fit it all in there.
Their eyesight is not good anymore.
Dude, yeah, I mean don't hurt
me. I'm only joking.
Baron's gonna come get you, but yeah. I mean, we had to. I had some cool art and stuff that eventually I was just like, I can't fit the art in there because I got to fit this whole page of monsters. But and it just is what it is.
Yeah, it's so cool. Again, I think this is definitely one of my favorite games. Yeah, I'm just in love with it because I'm gonna do, like I said before, a review on the game when my hardback printed demand copy comes, just so I can show off the people as well. And then I'm also gonna do another video comparing different types of OSR games. So I'm gonna have like a new rules life type game you might like, a sort of medium rules you might like, and more heavy rules like Axe. It's quite modular, but you can still be very dense with the rules and stuff you add in. And I have more of a classic style OSR type game, which would be Barrows Borderlands.
Yeah,
it's following the OD&D style really well, but then its own identity and self identity as well.
Axe is another one that escaped my mind, but we use some of that stuff in our campaign too.
Yeah, the judge's journal and a few things in there,
so good.
and I like the simulation stuff they has. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the coolest ideas. Like you could
it
have
is good.
people go out to dungeons or areas and clear it. Because I done my unboxing video on that, and I talked about you could use that from the very beginning for a bunch of characters, level 1, and you could have like a rival adventuring team, and they're beating you on the way. You know, it's just a cool idea, and it's not just
it for that same
thing.
thing.
Oh, this happens. You know,
I have used it for that same thing, having a rival party go out and do stuff. And then the spell creation rules are they just make sense. I've had my players test them because my players are creating spells all the time. And that's why another reason, like, the game has this many spells in it, and the intention is that the players will go out and make their own. So you'll have like Xerxes' spell of, I don't know, exploding heads or something like that. But the axe system is really good about having kind of like a point buy to building spells, and then at the end you're like, okay, and it tells you what level the spell should be. I like that a lot.
In Axe, everything that's used for creation was used to create everything in the game already.
Yeah.
So like you said, the spell creation tools were used to create all the spells. The class creation was used to create all the classes, the monsters, everything, which is because a lot of games they will come out and be like, when they do have that sort of stuff in it, it's not actually what they use to create the game.
Yeah,
it's sort of like it's kind of like that. So you're better off either not having that, and then people can sort of look at say a creature that might be similar and build upon it, as opposed to having a bunch of fake rules for creation.
Exactly.
But like you said, Axe has a great system for all that stuff.
It's so good. And I tried to make Barrows and Borderlands as compatible as I could with a lot of the other games out there, because that's what we do at our table is we'll mix in games all the time. Yeah. So, you know, if folks out there want to use like the roll to cast, sure, it works with any system, just follow the chart. Or if you want to use like a class from here, let's say you run OSE and you just want to download Radioactive Boogaloo and you want to play as a Mecha Ronin, I think it'd take you the 30 seconds to convert it over. So
yeah. And not only that is, since this is like basically OD&D Bones, you can play any classic adventure with Barrows and Borderlands as well.
We do that all the time too.
Yeah, which is cool.
The
like, I think
Voice Adventures work.
On the Discord group, there's a bunch of different channels, and one of them is Keeping the Borderlands. I think it is it?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So you have stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So again,
hey,
they can be. No, go on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep. It's the delay.
No, there's a little delay. It's all right.
But that's how we stress tested the game too, was by playing the old adventures and making sure it was still like worked well with them and stuff like that. A good stress test is like the Lost Tonisberg adventure, Dungeon of Tonisberg. That one's also the Fellowship of the Thing, and then we did a Tomb of Horrors and stuff like that. Like we like playing the old adventures too, so we'll mix them in, throw them into the game. If you're in the Discord long enough, you'll eventually see us play Castle Ravenloft eventually in there too.
Nice. That'd be cool.
I have that one. We'll do that one like Krull, where the castle like appears on the landscape, and then we'll move around the map or something. Like that. So
it comes from the shadows.
Exactly. We've got some adventures planned too. I can't say too much on those, but I'll just tell you the name of the first one that's in the works is called Dracula in Space. So
I just think of like 70s movie, sort of like B-movie sort of title.
Exactly. Dracula.
But don't worry, it won't be a B-movie quality. It will be quadruple A quality.
Well, thank you.
It's just the name. That's another thing. The naming conventions for stuff in the game is great. It has that pulpy 70s, 80s like not cheesy, but like naming convention, which
on purpose.
Yeah, it sounds sort of like it sounds like it would make sense, but also gibberish, but not gibberish. I don't know, but it has that sort of feel.
No, it's
Yeah.
We get a good giggle when we come up with stuff, and the player will say something like I was saying with Radioactive Boogaloo, or one of the players was actually the reason we did on the cover of Radioactive Boogaloo 2. He's like, you should just scratch out the boo and put 2 on there, and then that's where we got that from. And yeah, we've definitely got like Dracula in Space, Castle Dread, Death Mountains, just like stuff like that.
That's cool. Well, again, that's another thing that you said before already, is a lot of this is being done with help from the players that you've known, and they're your friends as well, which is really cool. They've all been playing a long time and they understand things, and yeah. So again, there's a lot going on here. A lot of collaboration as well. Like you said, everything you're putting out, you're using, your players use it. It makes sense in the game world. It's well tested, so that's again something that's different. Because again, like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there which is bad and it costs a lot, but you're putting out high quality stuff. So yeah,
well,
that's awesome.
Well, thank you. That's the hope, is that people do like it, of course. But I think you are gonna like the next Radioactive Boogaloo, because we got the Sorcerers of Blood and Godflesh class and some crazy stuff going on there.
Yeah, so yeah. I love the more darker sounding stuff. That's me. I'm very give me death.
Well, their whole deal is like, if you ever seen that. Well, here's another thing to add to your list. If you ever seen the old show Guyver, and
MacGyver,
Guyver, not MacGyver, but Guyver, where they've got like, it's like a biopunk suit that they wear.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
That one's that's a fun class. They're all like weird biopunk sorcerers from Gorgontha. So I think you'll like that one a lot too. Oh, maybe another solo play character.
You need to do. You know what's going to happen?
Robot sorcerer.
You're going to have one sort of like, I'm going to call them boogaloos. One boogaloo. It's going to be like sort of like a little cheesy, never-ending story. Never-ending story.
Well, the other thing too is, because I didn't want anybody to have like, too many useless options. So none of the classes that have been added are there just to be like, oh, we made another class. But there have been, for every class that makes it, there's like 5 or 6 where we're like, we don't even need that. It's just too much. And then so that's what I didn't want to do, was just make a bunch of useless stuff. So everything that we did put into the game, we wanted it it had to be there almost. So and then there's obviously like the explosives chart and stuff like that, or the solo play rules, where it's like, okay, maybe not everybody's going to use it, but to the people that do, hopefully this helps them use it and stuff like that, or helps them do the game. But
there's one thing I want to say as well earlier. I completely forgot because there's so much going on in my head. Like when it comes to combat as well in the book, you're not just doing, I move here and I swing my sword. There's different maneuvers and abilities that pretty much everyone can use. For the most part anyway. And it adds a lot more tactical sort of gameplay into combat, which is really cool. You can have different types of you can just pommel strike someone. You can do flanking maneuvers. Let me see. Yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff in here. I think there's like two and a half pages of stuff. Yeah,
we've got like for the people using the black powder weapons, they can do like the supine position shooting, a few other maneuvers based around the guns, and that was also in there because when you're playing the game, I do think it's really important for referees to just sort of make rulings, and I really like to encourage players to just try something. And the hope was, yes, we've got these in here, but also if a player just wants to try something kind of crazy and see if it works, there might be some sort of mechanical thing we can adjudicate. Something for the referee to go, you know what, that sounds kind of like this thing, so we can use these mechanics for it, or something like that. We had a whole
Like,
conversation earlier today about rulings over rules in the server.
yeah, you did a video on that as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, I didn't want to call out Ultra American TTRPG because that wasn't the point. Was, I was just like that brought up a good point that we've had. That was like the sixth conversation about that I've had with the players. So
yeah. Like, just to talk about the combat options here. I'm just going to name a handful. Like, you have a charge attack. You're going to have a mounted combat, mounted charge, spear, shield wall. You have different archery techniques. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different archery techniques as well. You're going to have fighting stances, defensive and offensive, which is going to give you both positives and negatives towards your either offense and your defense, depending on what you pick, which is pretty obvious. Just a lot of stuff in here, which gives the players options instead of said, I swing my sword, I hit,
yep,
I do damage. So that's more tactical gameplay. And of course, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to.
then don't use it.
Yeah.
Even in our own group. Well, I was just gonna say that even in our own group, the other referees, like we have a, we call it our ref document, and that's just sort of like, here's the laws of the universe that we don't break, But otherwise, you might join John's game, and John will say, "We're not using that. We're not using that whole. Matt was stupid. We're not going to use that mechanic." And that's the beauty of it. It's modular, but.
Yeah, even with like the radiation stuff, if you want to add that in, great, you can use it. If you don't have to. Especially if you're talking about if you're using other supplements or other adventures, you're not going to add everything in all the time. So again, this it's like it's sort of like Axe in a way. You can pick and choose the stuff you want to add in. You can be as in depth and make it a bit more complicated if you want, and add more tactical choice and ability for the players, or just be like, we're going to go traditional way. You're able to do a handful of things, and you're basically going to be doing spells and just your simple attacks and charges and stuff like that. So, again, just more options. I meant to say that earlier, but I got distracted by all this awesomeness.
I keep getting distracted too. But there's stuff in there like the dueling rules that they only come up once. Yeah, exactly. They come up once in a blue moon. But that was funny because Baron, who's in the Discord, he was my first critical review of the game, and he left this long list of things he wanted to know more about. I just gave him my phone number. I said, call me, we'll talk about it. And but that was one of the ones he brought up, is like, why the dueling rules? And I'll tell you the same thing I told him, is it happened once in our game, and even though it might not happen at your table, we had such a fun time in that moment using it. I didn't want to deprive somebody later of getting a chance to use it too if they wanted to. Yeah. So, and that's hey, if you don't like anything in the game except for Mecha Ronin, then sure, go right ahead, and that'll make me just. I like the idea of people going out and playing the game and having fun. So
yeah,
and I've got players that like, okay, well, let's say you prefer Hyperborea as a system, but you want to add in something like the radiation rules. You could easily do that, or the different classes like the gamma or the psychic. Those would work just fine in there. You just bump the hit dice once, and you're good to go. And that's sort of awesome. The hope, is it use what you want or don't use what you don't want. So
yeah. Modularity.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
but the combat options are fun. That's the new psychic stuff. So far, everybody's had fun with it. The psionics can be a little bit wild, but it's been reworked from what was in original D&D. So, and I've gone back and I've read through a bunch of blogs and watched a bunch of videos of how different people have changed it over the years. And now it's a D6 system. It'll feel a little bit closer to something like almost like the skills in Lamentations of Flame Princess. So you're like rolling under your investment points in a psychic ability. And then we've also got, but I had to keep in those like psychic duels, because I like the idea of like the scanners, psychics just staring at each other nose bleeding and all the weirdness of that. Yeah. There's your next movie too. Add that to your list. Scanners is another good one.
Yeah, I when you said that, I thought of the South Park episode where they all had like Asperger's and they were like doing mental attacks on each other.
Psychic powers. Exactly.
That's awesome.
And I like added ones like the Living Weapon, because one of my favorite movies, Acura, where the dude's just like body morphing into some hideous monster. So that kind of stuff's in the game too. But
yeah,
I haven't seen anybody play it yet.
It's crazy.
It's I tried to be reasonable with stuff, but I guess what is it? You said the vampire in me. I just keep adding.
Yeah.
But more is less, right?
Yeah.
Or more is more. More is more.
Something like that, maybe. Don't mention somewhere that's a reality. That's what you
somewhere.
Know. Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're having fun with the solo stuff so far.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant.
I've got to get you into. We'll find some way to get the timing right with your schedule and my schedule for you to join one of the game.
Yeah, hopefully
they definitely get crazy.
There's something coming up. I want to get in on the.
Oh yeah, the Barrow Stein game.
Yeah, I didn't know if we could say it or not, so I didn't want to.
Yeah. No,
because Thunder Moose has talking about that a lot. The Steins. I'm like, ooh, this has me interested.
They're a lot of fun, and I actually got to play in an official Brownstein game with David Wesley, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Was that at a con?
Yeah, it was at Dave Con. He'll be back at Arnicon too in October running one, but
nice.
It's a little bit different, so we're going to be going through because the current Archmage of the Saria Sanctum just got arrested, and there's this whole Court of Magus going on. So we'll be doing something similar to that, like a political game to adjudicate that happening. But who knows? Y'all might go and blow everything up or assassinate the Emperor. Who knows?
Everyone gets poisoned.
Yeah, everyone gets. Well, if I invite Dunder Moose to play, then yes, everyone will get poisoned. So I think 2 games that I've been in with him, he's poisoned somebody. So
everyone keep an eye out for the Moose. The Moose is on
exactly.
The loose.
I think it'll be a fun game.
Yeah,
but I'm also
sounds good. The idea of it sounds awesome to me, and that's why I'm like,
I think it'll be
yes, please.
But that's another example. The world, at least in our home campaign, keeps changing. And I think last month the Emperor of our world did get assassinated. Some players working under the guise of the Black Hand Assassins group went in, infiltrated the. Actually, sorry, the official report from Malorez is that it was done by another noble. So we'll see. We'll see if that gets the light.
Pinning the blame on someone now, like a good assassin.
Yeah, so something happened there. But yeah, we keep updating it, and the Discord is open for people to join. There's obviously like a waiting area, because we can't just let anybody into the game. But if you join in, exactly. Like Irishmen or something joining into the game.
Yeah, wankers. We're not as bad as the Scots, though.
Not
even get me started on
is that a rivalry I don't know about?
No, so not really. They just left here and then went to Scotland. Where it's even wetter and colder and windier.
Wetter, colder, and windier.
Yeah.
A lot of my family on my dad's side is from Scotland, and he's been wanting to go back there on a trip for years. Nice. But we right. There you go. Was it don't you have that, like the Black and Tans and the song?
Well, yeah, come out, you black and tans, fight me like a man.
Yeah, exactly.
There's another one, but there's a couple great songs, and they're funny but dark. So
yeah, it's all dark. It's interesting history. Like my
couple hundred years.
One of my buddies. couple hundred. One of my buddies, Patty, he's very Irish family. I think he always tells me about the history between the two, and I find it quite interesting. But but yeah, no, I'll send you because we have a like a permanent link or whatever to the Discord if you wanted to put that in the comments of whatever this
you
is.
Send me. That's what I'm saying. So, like I attach every link to everything that you have, your X account, your drive-through, your website, everything you want. I always put it in. It's always in the description and the pinned comment. Yeah. Actually, I was going to say,
look, you just got my personal number or something down in the comments.
here's his email address. Here's where he lives.
All right. Here's his home address and
drone locations right here.
Live updates.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been absolutely brilliant, Matthew. Thank you again for doing this. And like I said, I'm absolutely in love with the game. I try to get on the Discord as much as I can. Again, everyone there is great. The game is great. Like I said a second ago, I'll leave a link for the Discord. You can send me the link for that, and I'll put it in the description, the pinned comment, your drive-through, your website, your YouTube, everything. So people can check everything out. If they're interested in it, great. I'll also attach my own playlist. So if you want to check, I'll create my own playlist for Barrows Borderlands, and I'll attach this interview onto there as well, so people can check that out. And I will be doing sort of like an overview of my solo games. It's just going to be basically me reading what happened and stuff like that. So it'll be short videos and condensed, and I'll attach it in there as well. So yeah, this has been great, Matthew. Thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to add me on there?
I think my box sets are slowly running out, so if y'all want one, go get one before I have to go and order the stuff for the third printing. And yeah, drive through and all that stuff. All the links. So far, the box sets have been fun. You got to let me know next time or when you're about to order the radioactive boogaloo, so I can put one of the B&B t-shirts in there for you. So
will do. That's awesome. But, thank you again, Matthew.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, anytime. Anytime you want to come on, you can come on and let me know. All good. Yep, that's it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you like this one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, and goodbye.
Have a good one.